Welcome back to the Our 2 Cents podcast, the show where your local professionals sit down with an array of guests to hear their story and impart some wisdom for both business and life-improving skills. This is your place to hear business and community leaders discuss relevant topics that matter to you.
Hello, listeners. It is your host, Amanda DiGiacomo, and I'm excited to bring Power Hub Bakersfield to the episode today. It is a new nonprofit that just started January of 2024, and I actually serve as the treasurer. So this one is close to my heart, and I'm hoping you guys are going to extend a warm welcome to this new nonprofit. Today in the studio, I have Seppi and Lou, the president and vice president of Power Hub Bakersfield. All right, Seppi, can you let us know a little bit about this new organization and the mission statement?
So Power Hub Bakersfield is its own organization, as Amanda, you mentioned, and it was a platform created for business professionals, those C-suite professionals, and business owners. So me being out in the community wearing multiple hats, I've gravitated to a lot of smaller businesses, mid-sized businesses, and nonprofits, and they share their pain points with me. This has been ongoing since 2018, and so with the help of our vice president here, Lou, she is my accountability coach, and she's the one that really powered me to get the ball rolling on this platform. So the mission statement, so you all have a clear understanding about that, is our goal is to provide each person with the necessary tools on mastering their mind and leveling up their greatness in the professional realm. So we all come to a point in our life where we've obtained all these goals or attained all these goals. And as a C-suite professional, BDM, it's like, okay, where do we go from here, right? Sometimes we want to pivot and become a business owner, which I have an entrepreneurship heart, but not everybody has that love for business, right? So they want to entertain other industries. And so as a C-suite professional, we're giving them that opportunity, being in the same room with those business professionals, so those business owners in essence, and giving them those opportunities to hear their areas of love for business, and then of course their pain points, and then marrying the two. So that's what Power Hub is, I think, in a nutshell. And I can have you two also elaborate on that. So that's what our mission is. We want to definitely get this platform going and sharing the love and education for business professionals and business owners.
Perfect. So those that are listening, C-suite employees are those upper management or mid-management employees. So you might not own a business, but you're in mid-management or upper management, and you have pain points of how do you relate to your staff, how do you manage your staff, how to excel in those different areas. Or maybe you have been in upper management for so long and you want to pivot to being an entrepreneur. So just, giving some context to the acronyms that we're using today. To add to that, I feel like we're super different than any other type of platform out there. Yes, we have experts that are coming in and giving a topic and speaking on that topic monthly, but what we are doing is we're providing accountability and coaching. So essentially every single month, we have a guest speaker who comes in, talks about, let's say, HR things and how to gravitate towards your staff, right? We mentioned that earlier. And during that presentation, if you're a member, you will walk away from that program with an action item from that expert on what you need to work on during that year to excel and grow in that area. And our board members, Lou, Seppi, and I, are following up with our members throughout the year to make sure that they're on target and there's that accountability part to growing that. I think that's we're so different from the other organizations, because other organizations might just have mixers or professionals coming to speak, but they're not actually giving you a game plan or accountability to that game plan. And that's what we are doing. So essentially, we are the business coaches, the business accountability coaches, the C-suite employee coaches and accountability coaches, and we're bringing that to you. Now, obviously, this first year, since we're in this setup, if you're not a member, you can come join us for some of our programs, but in the future years, you will have to only be a member to start being able to participate in these programs. If you are not a member, you won't get that accountability part, which is what that extra membership fees are for. Lou, anything to add to that?
No, I think it's important to remember that we all need accountability for what we do on a daily basis. You know, a lot of times we set out to tackle a goal, and a lot of us are working on goals from COVID. You know, we never got past them, right? So it's really important to be open-minded and understand that there's people that are really good at what they do, and maybe you're not, you know, as refined as they are, and they're willing to extend the knowledge and the accountability. So when someone's willing to extend that type of graciousness to you, I think everyone should jump on it and learn from each other.
And to piggyback on that, as Amanda was mentioning, it is in essence a different platform. Something that I think, and I know a lot of individuals and professionals have been yearning for. So the fact that we're able to, collaborate, partner, and join our forces and bring this to fruition, honestly, is very exciting. So I'm hoping that to all our listeners that are listening, if you have any questions, if you have any feedback on what Power Hub Bakersfield is, please always reach out to either one of us. We have our platforms right now. Instagram, we're heavy on Instagram. So be sure to follow us and, just send us a DM, reach out to Amanda. She's very accessible. We're all very accessible, so we're able to answer those questions.
Perfect. I agree. There's been so many pain points. I mean, I'm an accountant. I work with so many business owners, which involves a little bit of business coaching when I'm looking over their financials and things like that. But people who don't work with me when I go to the chamber events, or I'm going to the women's center events, or I'm going to, other women organizations or nonprofit organizations that are geared toward business, that's been what I've been hearing is, well, I don't have accountability. Yes, this speech helped me, but I don't know how to apply that to my business. And so it's kind of that disconnect, and we're trying to, put a gap to that disconnect. Okay, well, yeah, you're having HR issues in your company with all these new regulations and laws. You don't know how to communicate with the younger generation or what motivates them. Well, these are the things that you can sit through a lesson, but also hey, this is your action plan. Go try this in your business. And did it work? And that's essentially what we're providing you in Power Hub.
We're also extending our knowledge in who we're in contact with on a daily basis, right? I've got a lot of people that come to me and they say, well, I just don't know where to begin. Rule number one is, you need to speak up. You need to show up, speak up, and ask, where do I start? And then we can help you with that, because there are a lot of successful women and men, in the community. But many, I would say 90% of the people that I talk to don't know that there are services that they can get for free through the Kern Women's Business Center. There's just a ton of different organizations out there that will align you with your goals and what you need to be successful. But if you don't show up,
you don't know.
You don't know, right? And if it does you no good to be great at what you are if you don't tell people who you are.
Exactly.
So you got to get out. Yeah, you got to get out there.
And then to apply and to piggyback on that, me being, of course, a part of the Greater Bakersfield Chamber and the Women's Business Center, in essence, this is one of the things that I've most recently been asked recently is, hey, Seppi, so what do you think? I mean, I see what the Power Hub is doing. I see you, Lou and Amanda are a part of this. How is that any different from any other organization? And going back to what you said is that accountability component, right? Is we're bridging that gap between all of them. So when people come to me and say, hey, Seppi, should I be a part of the Kern Women's Business Center? Educate me on that. Should I be a part of Downtown Business Association? Educate me on that. Should I be a part of the Greater Bakersfield Chamber? Educate me on that. And everybody has a different goal in mind, and those goals will change, whether it be monthly, quarterly, annually. And the more, I always tell all my members, the more you keep me in the know, the better I am equipped to share with you what direction to go. So as far as being a part of all organizations or just one or two, it's just what makes business sense for each person, right? Everybody has a different goal and a different objective. So I'm really good at letting them know, giving them those resources and education behind that. So
and making the connections for them. And we all have that. We're all a part. SBA, the Women's Business Center, Downtown Association, the Realtors Association. I mean, there's so many organizations here in Bakersfield, it gets to be hard to be a part of all of them. But now you're having somebody and a team of people who are a part of most of them, and where we can now be bridging that connection. And I think it's a good resource for the chambers and for these other organizations to get a sense of a plug on who actually needs to be in their organizations. Because now we can provide them, here's a list of all the associations that are here. These are the ones that are going to be wonderful for your business and you should be a part of, and we can now guide them into that direction.
I think also it's important to know that if you can't be a part of every single organization out there, that you maybe give PowerHub a try, because that will be the one place where you can learn from almost every organization, an industry expert from every organization out there. Seppi's great at, bringing those people in, and we'll have people there from the Kern Women's Business Center. We'll have people there from the Bakersfield Women's, Business Conference speaking. There's just a ton of lineup professionals that I think add a lot to what PowerHub is all about.
And the value added. All right, so let's talk a little bit about our memberships now. So let's go down the different tiers, and then we can also talk about sponsorship and how somebody can sponsor our events. So Seppi, you want to take away on the membership?
Absolutely. Let's talk about membership. So in essence, the game plan is to have a series throughout the course of the year. So they kick off February 8th. So every month, either the first or the second Thursday of the month, we'll be hosting a series with our industry experts. So what that entails is, so the standard membership or program fee would include you attending each one of those throughout the year. You'll be receiving the topic at hand, the actionable items given by that industry expert, and then that accountability component, right? In addition to that, since it is during the lunch hour, 11 to 1, so we are asking you with ample time to carve out those dates. We are providing a light lunch and a beverage. So that's what's included in the standard. Now, if you want to tier up to the premium membership, it includes all of what I just mentioned, in addition to admission to all the events that we'll be facilitating throughout the year. It can be 2 events, it could be 4 events, or maybe even 2 a month. It just depends.
Perfect.
But you will be known. You will know about these. And the accountability component, in essence, also will be, as soon as you sign up to become a member, you will get a calendar invite to each monthly meeting or series. Now, if you're looking to become an elite member, you're going to get all of the above. And in addition to admission to all of the facilitated events throughout the year, and you get a one-on-one coffee meeting. So whether that be with myself, or if you elect to meet with one of our industry experts, then we can make that happen. So it'll be monthly basis. We'll carve out some time. In addition to all the accountability you have, it's more of a deep dive conversation as to, okay, I know we have this going on. This is what your goals are. And let's elaborate on that. So that's what the elite membership includes.
Perfect. So that's awesome. The different tiers, the lowest one starts at $87 a month and then goes up from there. Like I mentioned earlier, this first year, because we are new, we are having the general public able to attend the programs, which that fee is about $57 per program. You do not get the other program mixers and the accountability and all the recharge and coffee and all of that. It's only $57 for you to attend the program. That will be going away after the second year, but again, we're trying to promote this first year.
I just wanted to add that that final membership there, it's not just coffee. I don't want you to think, we're just talking over a cup of coffee. It's really strategizing and trying to figure out what is it that you need to make your business successful. So out of those conversations come events at your location. It may be, help me out, Seppi. There's so much that comes out of those one-on-one coffee conversations. It may be a re-grand opening. It may be your initial opening. It may be getting you connected with different organizations that will help you.
Or restructuring your business tax-wise, or dealing with things differently in a holding company, or dealing with staff differently. And there's so many different pain points, and that one-on-one coffee is, really just
the starting
point of it.
And the community engagement component, right? Mm-hmm. I think the full purpose of any business is, whether you're a startup, you've been in business 3+ years, or you've been a corporation for many years, right? It's learning what's coming up ahead and how do you stay relevant, right, in your community, whether it be in your community or on social presence. What's going to set you apart in essence, and what's going to keep you top of mind to your ideal audiences. So it's going to be so many, as Lou mentioned, so many different conversations. 1 month we can be discussing, again, the strategy about it. And then the second month we can be speaking about collaborative, right, efforts in our community. And what does that look like? Does that mean having an interview with our 2 Cents podcast? Does that mean collaborating with a nonprofit organization? There's going to be so many different conversations we can establish during those conversations. And if you're not a coffee drinker, don't worry about it. It doesn't have to be coffee. It can be tea. It can be whatever it is that we would like to enjoy.
Great. So other ways people can get involved right now is through sponsorship. So right now we are, open to sponsorship. We are looking for location sponsorships, food sponsorships, just donation sponsorships where we're putting, your logos and things on all of our, social media content and things. We're super excited to be opening this up. I believe a lot of special businesses can really, really benefit from this, especially if you're sponsoring the event and we're hosting it at your location and we're bringing other businesses to your location. That's always a good component, to expanding your clientele.
Absolutely. I think it's important. So I'm super excited about Power Hub Bakersfield. And again, we do get a lot of questions. And so feel free, like I said, reaching out to either one of us, other industry experts that are a part of Power Hub. And just to name a few, we're going to kick off the first one on February 8th, as I mentioned previously, with Norma Dunn and Sue Watson. So I know a lot of people in the community know who they are and what they bring to the table. And it's going to be a deep dive into really, really taking notes. So in essence, one, we highly encourage you to arrive promptly. We will be closing our doors at a specific time, not allowing anybody else to join in. We want to give everybody their undivided attention. And then, of course, be mindful of our members so that they can take a deep dive as to all the notes they'll be taking. And I like to say it like this. We're going to see it, hear it, write it, and apply it. So that's a little tagline that I just kind of wanted to throw out there as well.
So those of you who don't know Norma or Sue, essentially Norma is the director of the Women's Business Center. And the reason why we're having her speak in February is we're talking about access to capital and free capital, grants and different things. So you want free money from the government. Essentially, she's talking about all the upcoming grants and the grants that are currently going on. And that's what Norma is going to be talking about in this platform. We're also going to have her come back later months to discuss about if you're women business owned, minority business owned, how to get those certifications, how to get those government contracts. So again, bringing actual things that help you grow your business. Sue is amazing. She's going to be talking about 30, 60, and 90 day, and then 365 planning for your business. Again, we're kicking the year off with what are your goals in 30 days, what are your goals in 60 days, and what is your goal for the year. And that's a great way to set up that accountability part so that in a year from now, when we're sitting down with one of us on the board and we're like, hey, you wrote this down in February, what did we achieve? And this is a great way to kick off that accountability. And that's what this February program is bringing you. Now, throughout the year, we're going to have amazing speakers. There are going to be people talking about all different topics, from business strategizing to HR issues, to payroll issues, to tax issues. You name your pain point in your business, we are bringing it for you. And we're bringing you that community and those experts that can definitely give you those answers to your problems.
And if you all want to hear a sneak peek of what those topics may be, I will name a few here. So again, February, we already mentioned. March, we're going to be speaking on mindset and leadership. Then again, going to procurement with Norma. Then we'll be covering branding your business, branding your self and or your organization on socials. We'll have front and center with business experts. We'll have mid-year goal updates, so SWOT reevaluations, plus roundtable discussions. Be ready to quick pitch your business, and we'll have pressing industry topics. And then that's just to mid-year. So Be ready. It's going to be amazing. And those are just a few things that we'll be discussing, but there is so much more in depth to that. And once you get your foot in the door and you start seeing what this is about, we hope that you can encourage others in our community to participate, come in as a guest or as a drop-in guest, of course, to see what this platform is about.
Perfect. To summarize, we have different memberships. We have different sponsorship opportunities. We are a local nonprofit. So again, all the donations and membership fees are right off to your business or on your personal tax return. If you're that C-suite employee, goes on your Schedule A. We're going to be bringing you tons of experts that are actually going to help you grow, and that accountability part that are going to help you grow in your business. Our upcoming events is February 8th at Lino's venue, where we will have Norma and Sue be discussing grants and planning for the year. We also have another Galentine's mixer coming up at Mango House. Would you like to discuss that as well?
Yes, so please mark your calendars, February 12th, that is on a Monday, during your lunch hour, so feel free to stop in. There is a small admission fee, but in addition to that, we have a little small surprise for you. We're going to make it very interactive, very much well worth your lunch hour and time, and you'll be mixing and mingling with all these other professionals in town.
Now I'd like to talk about just a little bit about all of us. So Seppi is our president, Lou is our vice president, and then I am the treasurer. So Seppi, briefly just talk about a little bit what you're bringing and the experience you're bringing to the table, and then Lou, we can go with you next.
All right, so I'm Seppi Willingham. I currently bring to the table as a president the innovative idea of this platform. So in essence, I've been in the workforce. I'll just give you a year. At the early year of 14 years of age, I began in the workforce. So I've been very fortunate enough to be a part of various industries, from medical, oil and gas, real estate, so mortgage lending, family law, and retail, restaurant. There's been a many industries that I've been a part of. The most recent in the last, I would say, decade, or going on 15 years, I would say, my time has just slipped away. But I have been a part of a Fortune 500 company within the last 15 years that was State Farm Insurance. And there I did a IT support. So there's a lot of people in the community that don't know that I have that background. So I bring that to the table. My higher education is in the medical field. So I have a love for just really meeting people, and I gravitate to what they do, what triggers them, and anytime they have a pain point, I am really good at problem solving. So I love to, in essence, go to the drawing board, see what areas of improvement they need, and we go from there. So giving that second perspective from a community standpoint and professional standpoint, I think that's what's really helped me be in my current career path. And so I would say I bring a wealth of knowledge of various industries to the table.
And what about the organizations you serve on?
Oh man. All right. We'll start from the top. My most recent, I'm the member and business development manager of the Greater Bakersfield Chamber. I'm also a business consultant through the Kern Women's Business Center. I am a part of the Blue Zones Project Engagement Leadership Committee. I have been a part of the VE Advisory through the ROC and CTEC program, Virtual Enterprise or Entrepreneurship Program. I am also now currently a part of the Bakersfield Women's Business Conference workshop selection process or committee. And I also have sat on the board of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, Reds Warriors. That's where you and I sat together, Amanda. Mm-hmm. And even prior to that, I was a part of Leukemia and Lymphoma Society with Joey Zachary.
Right. We did that one too.
You and I definitely kicked off, and that's how we really
bonded.
We bonded and got to know each other, and how we really align with each other's core values. So, so I currently wear multiple hats, and now, of course, the founder and president of Power Hub Bakersfield. But I just want you all to know that I am really the program director of Power Hub Bakersfield. I like to see what everybody's needs are and then just get them to that point.
Perfect. And Lou, what about you?
My name is Lou, and I'm vice president of Power Hub. I'm not going to bore you with my 30 years of experience and what I've done. So I'll just talk about where I'm at today. This week, I celebrate 20 years of working for PCF Fallgatter Roads Insurance. I work with amazing mentors and so happy to be there. Aside from Power Hub, I am coaching a handful of women with their businesses here in town and helping them get to where they need to. I'm a consultant with the Kern Women's Business Center. For our insurance organization, I'm a NetVU California chapter leader. Anyhow, it just goes on. But happy to be here, happy to bring my experience to the table. I am an HR employee benefits broker, and 20 years of working for great mentors has allowed me to help a ton of people along the way in trying to get their business started and get them from A to B to, C to Z. And I really believe in being prepared for what's going to come. I've taken some classes recently. I'm all about education and growing your knowledge. And I had someone tell me recently, you seem a little cynical. And I thought, man, I've never thought of myself as that. But I do think of myself as being very upfront and honest when it comes to being in business. You have to be prepared.
You're more risk adverse.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. You have to be prepared for what's going to come financially, emotionally, physically.
Right.
And so I think the better prepared we are, the easier the decisions are along the way. Right. And so anyhow, that's what I bring to the table. I think that, along with connecting you with really good people, just good knowledge.
And that's why you are my accountability coach, Lou, and my vice president, because thanks to Lou, this definitely came to fruition, right? We had a conversation. She sat me down. We went through all the risk management stuff, the liabilities, all the pros, the cons, as we all like to see them. And she said, girl, you've got this.
You got to do this.
You've got this.
But, I think, being surrounded by really good, genuine people allow you to make those recommendations, right? I was able to pull Seppi and say, hey, have you ever thought of doing this? Because this really has your name written all over it, right? And I know, Amanda, you've, guided people in the same direction, with your epiphanies of what you see versus what they see. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times the struggle is that we don't see our value. Other people see it before we do, right? And so it takes somebody really genuine pointing it out and saying, hey, you've got this. If you have nothing to fall back on this,
right?
That you've got this trait and you're able to go far with it. And just those words, I think, of advice are what people need, in today's society of, competing with Instagram and 1 million followers on TikTok and how to get rich overnight. You can. That is possible. But the reality is a lot of us have to work at that. So anyhow, that's where I'm at. Excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, I know when Seppi came to me, I've always believed that she is the professional connector and that she is tied to everything. So when she came to me, I thought it was a great idea. And I was honored when she asked me to make sure that, everything on the legal, accounting, business side of things was all set up properly and, taken care of. It shows she puts a lot of trust in me. And so I appreciate being asked to be a part of this. As you all know, I am Amanda. I am the treasurer of Power Hub Bakersfield. What I bring to the table is I have 13 years in the accounting and tax industry. I owned my own firm. We work with well over 300 plus clients in Bakersfield. I do serve on many nonprofit boards, just as much as Seppi throughout my whole years here. I formed nonprofits, chartered nonprofits, led as president, led as treasurer, led as vice president. Recently, I've been focusing a lot of my time on foster kids and those type of organizations and really giving back and trying to inspire other kids from similar backgrounds as mine to, do something with their life more than just being stuck in that cycle. I've always done, professional NABO Bakersfield. I'm the one that chartered that and brought that here and was president for several years. I've always believed in, professionalism and being a part of something bigger than your community and just being there, community over competition. I've been in rewards all over Bakersfield, been nominated for several different awards, received certificate of recognition from the state. LA Times did an article about me. I was like 40 under 40. There's just so many accolades that I've brought to the community. And then I got asked to be on our 2 Cents podcast. And so I bring the knowledge of, are we conducting business? Are we having the compliance side of the business? Did we form that LLC incorporation? And are we filing our beneficial ownership information? Are we doing our operating agreement or our bylaws or, even just that tax strategizing? And so that's kind of what I'm bringing to, this as well as I should say, the community connections and a platform for other business owners. And so I've been super excited to be a part of this. I can't wait to see where it goes. And I appreciate you, Seppi, for bringing me along.
I admire both you and Lou. So thank you for that. And thank you for having us today. I appreciate it.
Great. Thank you. All right, listeners, make sure you subscribe and follow and go back to listen to any of our other episodes that were released. And I'm excited for the new year. Thank you for listening.
This show has been brought to you by the Law Office of Kyle Jones, Troy Burton with the Lynn Company, CPA John Duffield, Scott Hansen Real Estate Lender, broker and investor, Dave Plivlich, President and CEO of the Marcom Group and MarcomBranding.com, and Amanda DiGiacomo, President of Atlas Financial Solutions. You've been listening to the Our 2 Cents podcast. Check out the show notes for links and more information about the show. Also visit our website at our2centspodcast.com or catch us on Instagram at Our 2 Cents Podcasts. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and share with others.